The Costa Mesa Library Foundation was created to raise funds and assist in planning for a new central library and augment existing facilities and services in our community.
In 1999, a firm by the name of the Arroyo Consulting Company did what's known as the Arroyo Study that concluded in its report to City Council in 2000 that Costa Mesa is vastly underserved in terms of the library space that it has for cities of our size, by as much as being only a quarter to a third of this number of the size of library space that we need.
Thinking about what a central library would bring to the city versus our current branch libraries is it would bring a more welcoming and attractive place for our residents to come and take part in programs and check out and reference materials. It means adding study rooms, areas for our children and our young adults, where right now we just don't have the space to do that. It also means the city of Costa Mesa becoming a full-service city, which means we can hopefully attract more business development and an increasing number of residents.
It would add another dimension to library services in the city. I think there would be more programs for children, possibly a lecture series, certainly more meeting rooms, more computers. That could all be in that equation, and I think that will really be up to the foundation to work that out. The City Council did in 2005, at the request of the Friends of the Library, set aside the Civic Center parcel. The Friends had asked them to set that parcel aside for 10 years, and they had agreed to go out and do some fundraising, and the council was very willing to do that. It would be a nice location in terms of its proximity to the Civic Center as a whole.
This specific space was donated in 2005 by the city, and it came with provisions that we would meet certain fundraising milestones. We have tried our best to do that, and a lot of that was predicated on the fact that we would, in fact, get state bond funding or state grant funding. Currently, we continue to hope that this is a viable spot for the library, and if there are other spots available in the city, we are also looking into those as well. Unfortunately,
from the state funding perspective, we haven't had a library bond passed in a while, and with the state budget, who knows when that will happen again. So there aren't really any state funds at this point for libraries. The Friends and Foundation have talked about approaching private donors, etc. Have talked about, approaching the council, requesting the consideration of a bond measure or something along that line.
Initially, the foundation had pinned our hopes on a state grant that had been accessible to California cities throughout the state. And at this point, those funds are no longer available. Currently, we are raising funds through private donations, through business sponsorships. We are looking at grant opportunities. We're planning to meet in January with our advisory committee, which is made up of a list of who's type people in Costa Mesa, to get them involved in helping us focus on fundraising. What we need from the people of Costa Mesa, if and when we get this library services consultant underway, is to respond as best they can with what they'd like to see in a library. At some point in the future, there'll be a lot of opportunities for volunteering to do things that would support the construction and the operation of the library. But right now, what we need mostly is fundraising and support for the need for the library. A library is more than a place to store and lend books, particularly in new libraries that are being built these days. Libraries focus on separate areas for programs for children, for youth, teenage users, and for adults. They also provide an opportunity for meeting space for a variety of uses of cultural arts, small musical events, lecture series, as well as community organizations. They provide an in-place to go for people who want a place to read, to study, to research, and just kick back. Our library is really necessary today, and especially in the internet age of where we're living now. And the reality is yes, they are very much needed. Libraries have shown in studies from the American Library Association to account for 73% of free internet access in the cities they serve. And while a lot of people have computers at home, not everybody has internet access. So libraries are just as relevant as they were in years past as they are today. In addition to just books, libraries also offer a wide variety of materials, including audiovisual materials, which means access to videos, audiobooks, music, and libraries of today, in libraries of today, you can actually download a lot of those components as well. So libraries continue to make themselves relevant, and it's just in a lot of different ways than they used to be. It's not just books anymore.
This is a great city, and it has a lot to offer. We're the city of the arts. We've got a viable business community. We've got an excellent visitor and conference program going. We've got a lot of educational institutions in the city, but my personal opinion is we will never be a full-service city until we have a central library that meets the expectations of our citizens and is up to the standards of other cities of our size. Knowledge is not a bad thing.